went to bleeding races, 'twas on the 9th of June, 1862 on a summer's afternoon. I took the bus to Banbury's and she was heavy laden. Away we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to bleeding.
You're watching TOON Army TV. Welcome to the channel. This is the Newcastle United versus Southampton match preview for the game on Saturday afternoon. It's at James's Park. The kickoff is 3 p.m. in the Premier League. Can Newcastle United get back to winning ways against a struggling Southampton side? The Saints are finding it difficult to win games right now. Doesn't that remind you of our current run of form with Steve Bruce as the head coach? 1 win in 13 games. Nothing to write home about. Steve Bruce, I've said it before, he should not be manager of this football club. If the club board were not so spineless to see how bad he is, he would have been sacked a long time ago. We're going to talk about Southampton. They are rock bottom in terms of form. Their morale will not be so good. It'll be very low. Their confidence will be shot. And you look at the previous result, they will be a wounded animal. You just don't know what you're going to get from them on Saturday. They either come to St James's Park with a game plan, or we take advantage of it and get the 3 points and put further misery on Ralph Hasenhüttl and Southampton. Now, can we take advantage of Southampton's situation? Of course we can. On the day, we need to go into the game with the right attitude, the right mentality. We need to be clinical, and that's the word I use. Clinical, something we weren't against Crystal Palace. If we can take our chances against Southampton and don't give them a route into the game, let's say we take the lead, for example, if we can double it and get a second goal, then we kill off any momentum that Southampton have got. And I believe if we go into the game with the attitude, the mentality, and we're clinical, we'll get the 3 points come 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I'm confident. I want to be positive going into this game on Saturday. We have what it takes. We've got a good side. It's better than where the league suggests we are, but the table doesn't lie. We deserve to be where we are because we're simply not good enough, because we switch off, we're ball watch, and it's cost us on so many occasions. Now, I'm still disappointed that we lost 2-1 at home to Crystal Palace. For me, it's 3 points dropped. Some fans will say it's 1 point dropped, which I understand from being 2-1 down, but we shouldn't put ourselves in that situation. We go 1-0 up through a John Joe Shelby wonder strike, but we don't build on the 1-0 lead. We just have a couple of chances and then we invite Palace back into the game. And if you do that, Palace don't need asking twice. They go and score 2 goals, 2 very good goals, but both could have been prevented. And that's what happens when you don't double your lead. And it's something we're going to have to learn going into Southampton on Saturday, because they're going to be no walk in the park. They're not going to just roll over and let us play our own game. They're going to want to react big time. But that's something that we need to do. We need to stop dropping points at home. Because that Palace game, for me, the first half was good. Like, we took the lead. We should have put Crystal Palace to the sword. In the second half, despite being 2-1 down, I was expecting that we would go and get it to a 2-2 and then go win the game 3-2. It's a home game against Crystal Palace. They're not Man City, they're not Liverpool, they're not Tottenham. It's Crystal Palace. They are mid-table, they're around us, they're competing to stay in this league. They're not going anywhere. And yet we give them 3 points. There was no real urgency. We had a lot of the ball, but in the final third, we lacked that quality. We didn't test the goalkeeper anywhere near enough. A lot of our shots were going wide of the mark. The substitutions were okay, but a little bit too late for my liking. And I feel like we've just lost 3 points from a very good performance against Everton. We could have been on 25 points now, then talking another victory against Southampton on Saturday. We could be on 28 points. We could be laughing. But no, we've got to make things difficult for ourselves. And Southampton, as mentioned, they come off the back of a 9-0 humiliation against Manchester United at Old Trafford. It's not the first time that Southampton have been beaten 9-0. It's the second time it's happened in the space of 16 months with Ralph Hasenhüttl as the manager. Just when you think they're turning the corner, they have a defeat like that again. Not at home, but away from home. At Old Trafford, of all places. You could argue that Mike Dean had a massive say in Man United winning by such a margin. Southampton going down to 10 men. I mean, they lose a player for a bad challenge in the first few minutes in. I mean, he's a new signing, he's new to the league. It was a poor challenge, but Southampton could have defended better with the 10 men. But Man United had it all their own way. They did lose Bednarek as well. He went off. He's seen his marching orders, a red card. They went down to 9 men and they just collapsed. It could have been double figures to Manchester United, truth be told. But I believe Bednarek will be available for the game on Saturday. The tackle was soft. For me, it was never a red card, and that should be rescinded. As mentioned, Southampton have not won in the last 4 games. They lost in the previous game against Aston Villa before Manchester United. They last won, I believe, against Liverpool at St Mary's. They won 1-0. If you remember, Hasenhüttl was crying in the dugout at full time because it was a big result, but they've not really pulled up any trees ever since. They've won a few games in the FA Cup. They beat Arsenal the last time I checked, and that's not great. You know, the confidence is low, but that's where we can cash in. We're good enough to be getting a result against Southampton. And talking of the reverse fixture, Southampton beat with 2-0 back in November the 6th. They deserved to win. Che Adams gave them the lead. Almiron made a mistake in the first half. And then second half, they got that all-important second to kill off the game. They could have won by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. I don't want a repeat on Saturday, because if we lose again, then that's alarm bells for this board. I know we're clear of Fulham, but you can't be dropping points like we are. It's embarrassing, and we need to improve big style. Otherwise, all it takes is Fulham, if you look at the Premier League table, to string up some results, and we are caught. Fulham are currently sitting on 14 points. We are 8 points clear on 22 points. We're 16th in the league. We're tossing and turning with Burnley on goal difference. But if we can win on Saturday, then we can stay in touch with the likes of Wolves, Crystal Palace, and all those other mid-table clubs. And we can put ourselves 11 points clear of relegation, as long as Fulham and West Brom and Sheffield United keep slipping up. As for Southampton, well, they're currently 12th in the Premier League on 29 points. They're going to be okay this season, despite what happened in the previous game. If they get 3 points, which I hope they don't, then it shoots them further clear of danger. Southampton just need 3 or 4 wins, a couple of draws, and they'll be absolutely fine. And they can build for next season and beyond. But as you're looking at that table, it is worrying that we are relying on Fulham and we're relying on West Brom. We can't afford to focus on those sides. We have to focus on ourselves. As mentioned, we've got a good side on paper, and I want to see that new lad start on Saturday, Joe Willock. He'll bring so much energy into our midfield. He's got a lot of Premier League experience. It's only a loan deal, but it can't be any worse than what we've been producing in recent months. So I'm going to predict my starting 11 for the game against Southampton this weekend. No excuses. 4-2, 3-1. That's what I'm going with. I'm not confusing it. Everton, Steve Bruce went with a 4-3-3 diamond. Against Crystal Palace, it was a 4-3-1-2 formation. Let's just keep it simple. Something that the squad are used to, they're comfortable with. We need to start getting results. This formation got results last season. I don't understand why Steve Bruce wouldn't revert back to this. In goal, Carl Darlow. Left back, Jamal Lewis. Right back, Javier Manquillo. The first centre-back, Fabian Schär. Alongside him, Kieran Clark. The first CDM, Isaac Hayden. Alongside him, the new lad, Joe Willock. On the left-hand side, Ryan Fraser. On the right-hand side, Alan St. Maximin. In the number 10, Miggy Almiron. And up front, on his own, Callum Wilson. So that is my starting 11 for the game on Saturday afternoon. It should be strong enough to get a result against Southampton, who are struggling for any type of momentum right now. There's no excuses from the previous game. Let's go again and look to attack Southampton right from the very get-go. My score prediction for the game will be 2-0 Newcastle. 3 points is a must. A clean sheet will always help. If we can get the first goal, let's double it. And if we could do that and get 3 points, we'll put ourselves further clear of the relegation zone. It's important that we keep hold of the ball and that we don't give the ball away, because if we do that, then we're going to come unstuck like we have in previous games. If we can have the same performance that we showed against Everton and the same performance that we showed in parts against Crystal Palace, then we shouldn't go wrong in this game. But if we do, then it can only be a disaster. But we don't want to go down that road. I want to come back on Saturday night and say we've actually won a home game for the first time in nigh on 2 months. That is my score prediction. Let me know yours down below in the comment section. Let me know your team selections. Let me know who you're going to predict in your starting 11. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Please hit the like button. I want to try and grow the channel, so the more likes we get, the better. It always helps out the content. So if you could please just spare 2 seconds of your time to hit that thumbs up, please do it. Get interactive down below in the comment section. Follow me on TOON TV, Instagram and Twitter. Give us a follow and I'll follow you back. And until the next one, keep yourself safe out there. I will be back on Friday for a 2-hour live stream between 7 and 9. So if you want to pop on, please do. We'll talk all things Newcastle United and other footballing matters. So yes, see you all later. How are the lads?